Hey guys, how are y'all doing? I hope you have had a great couple weeks. It's been a few weeks since I've been able to put out another video, but I've got a really cool video for you today. I've been hearing a lot of things about the new PSE XF series bows. People are wondering about the new cam. You know, everyone loves the Evolve cam. Did PSE ruin the new bows? We're going to get into that today. Got the PSE XF, and it's going to go head to head with the PSE EVL. So cool thing about both of these bows, they're both the big cams. So this has got the EC cam, just kind of the standard Evolve cam that everyone knows, the longer draw version. And then this is the E2 cam, which is essentially the second generation, and you can kind of see the difference in the cam shape. Everyone's really been nervous about, not everyone, but a lot of the things I've read, has PSE ruined the new, the Evolve cam that we love, and yada yada. So we're going to get into what I like about it. Maybe if there's something I don't like about it, we're going to do a speed test, which is going to say a lot, and can't wait to give you guys my opinion. Stick around. All right, so a couple things I want to talk about, starting with the PSE EVL 34. This is the 34-inch axle to axle. I'm not going to go over all the specs. This is last year's bow. There's tons of videos on all of the specs of this bow, but I did want to tell you this bow is a 70-pound bow, and it is drawing poundage is exactly 71.3 pounds. So that's what I hunted with this past season. Absolutely loved this bow. One thing about it, the measured brace height on this is 6 3/4. So I took a tape, measured it. It's exactly 6 3/4 brace height. Axle to axle, not axle to axle. So obviously this is a 34-inch axle to axle bow, but if you go from bottom of the cam to top of the top cam, that length on this 34-inch model is 39 inches and 3/4. So it's 39 and 3/4 inches. So this is almost a 40-inch from bottom of the cam to top of the cam. So 39 and 3/4. So that is the EVO. All right, so looking at the XF, this is this year's model, 2022. I went with the 33-inch model. I love a longer axle to axle. 33 to 35-inch ATA is my favorite size of bow. One thing that's different about this bow, there's been several videos again, going over all the specs. I'm not going to get into all the specs. Obviously, it's 33 inches axle to axle. But one thing PSE did on this bow that I absolutely love is they lengthened the brace height. So the brace height on this bow measured without the grip. I took the grip off this one, it just felt better. But measured is 7 1/8. If you had the grip on, it'd be right at 7 inches. So this is a 7-inch brace height bow in a longer axle to axle. You don't really see that very much. Most of these longer bows are going to have a 6-inch brace height or below a 6.5-inch brace height. So this is a 7-inch brace height, so super forgiving. Again, if you measure from the bottom of the cam to the top of the top cam, it's a 1/2 inch shorter than the 34. So this one's 39 1/4 inches tip to tip, essentially. It's 33 inches axle to axle, and honestly, the two bows, they feel so similar, which I'm pleased about because I absolutely love the EVL. So really what I'm excited to find out, I'm excited to share with you my thoughts on the draw cycle of the E2 cam. I decided to go with the E2 cam. I'm a 29, and I'm usually between 29 1/4 and 29 1/2. I kind of find an 1/8 in there somewhere. That feels good. Right now this bow is at 29 1/2 inches. So is the EVL. So 29.5 inches is the draw that I'm going to be testing this on. But like I said, so the S2 cam, which is the smaller cam, it only goes to 30 inches draw length. So I would have gotten more performance out of the S2 cam at my draw length, but I personally prefer the smoothness of the bigger cam. You get a little bit smoother draw cycle, not quite as fast, but it's, and again, I haven't shot an S2, but I have had the SE cam, which is the older Evolve cam, the small version, and the big cam is definitely a smoother drawing cam than the small cam, but you do lose just a tiny bit of performance that way. So cool thing about this test is it's big cam to big cam, and it's one, original Evolve Generation 1, Evolve Generation 2. So I'm super excited to see how these bows shake out. Like I said, biggest benefit of this bow is you're gaining 1/4 inch of brace height. But anyway, now we're gonna get the chrono set up. I'm gonna draw them back, give you my thoughts, and we'll see what the numbers say. All right, guys, so the arrow I'm gonna be shooting today is my hunting arrow. This is what I'm gonna be using for this season. This is the arrow I used last season as well. This is the Victory VAP SS 300 spine, and get you guys a total arrow weight here. So 463.9, so just under 464 grains essentially, and that's the arrow we're going to use for the test. Got the EVL set up, going to shoot it through the chrono here, and like I said, this bow is exactly 71.3 pounds, 29.5 inch draw length, 464 grain arrow. And I've set up both bows identically. So the XF33 is also at 29.5 inch draw. It's also 71.3 pounds. Both of these are at 80% let off. So gonna go ahead, shoot. I'll shoot, I guess, maybe 2 arrows to confirm with the EVL, and then I'll shoot 2 with the XF and tell you what we get. All right, so first arrow there, I don't know if you can see, it's getting 285. All right, so first arrow with the EVL, shot to 185 feet per second, 29.5 inches, 80% let off, 71.3 pounds. Here goes shot 2. Shot 2 is 284 feet per second. So we're going to be right in there, 285 feet per second with a 464 grain arrow with the standard Evolve EC cam. All right, now we got the new PSE EVO XF 33. We've got the same 464 grain arrow. This bow is set at 29.5 inches, 71.3 pounds, 80% let off. So exactly the same as the EVL, and we'll see what we get. (288 feet per second). If you can see that there, 288. All right, guys, shot 2, PSE EVO XF 33, and first arrow we got 288 feet per second with a 464 grain arrow. See what the second one does. That one was 289 feet per second. Let's see if I can get you a shot of that there. 289. All right, guys, so here's the deal. Kind of want to give you my opinions on both of these bows. Now I've only spent about 2 weeks roughly with the XF. Obviously I hunted with the EVL all of last year. A huge fan of the EVL. So the difference in the two bows, putting them as similarly as possible, as close to the very same as I could get them. The new XF is going to get you roughly 4 to 5 feet per second faster. 4 to 5 feet isn't a lot, but when you consider that you're getting a 1/4 inch more brace height, which should be a more forgiving platform, it's pretty amazing. You know, I've read and watched reviews of guys saying, you know, that this cam system is super harsh. It's like a speed bow. Obviously, by the numbers, you can tell it's not. It's 4 or 5 feet per second faster than last year's bow. So that, you know, is it worth upgrading for 4 or 5 feet per second? Here's my opinion. Here's my opinion on this new bow. I really, really like it. I think you need to give this bow, you know, several shots. Don't just walk into the shop, shoot it 2 or 3 times and say, nope, this one's not for me. I literally spent probably 30 minutes today picking one bow up, drawing it, pick the other bow up, draw it. Just going back and forth, trying to figure out what were the subtle differences in these two bows. What's the draw cycle like? And this is what I've come up with. I want to just be as straightforward as possible. I don't shoot for PSE. I'm not affiliated with PSE. I love their bows. So I'm giving you just my complete unbiased opinion. Obviously, everyone loves the Evolve Cam. It's been proven for the last 4 or 5 years. Everyone really, really loves this Evolve Cam. So what's the difference? You know, obviously they look substantially different, but this bow, the new E2 cam, what I notice when I draw this bow, comparing it to the old EC Evolve cam, it takes a little tiny bit more force to get the bow to go than with the Evolve. So it, you know, when you hear words like stiffer or harsher, it's definitely not a harsh draw cycle by any means. I mean, when I draw this bow, I pick up the normal Evolve cam. They're very, very similar. The biggest difference is I notice this E2 cam is going to require just a slight bit more force at the beginning. And then the only other thing with this bow is as you get kind of over the, you know, you take most of the weight of the draw. As you're getting almost to the back wall, there's a little portion on this E2 cam. There's a little portion there where you feel just a little bit of, it's just not as like, I think that was the biggest thing between the two bows. The EVL last year's model, you know, once I got over the hump kind of, and it's not a big hump, you know, but once you kind of get over that main bit, it just goes right to the back wall. This bow right here has just a little bit of something at that last bit. It's smooth and it's not hard to do, but you'll feel a little something at that last bit. So if you're a guy, you know, pretty normal guy, I mean, I'm 37 years old. I'm not in phenomenal shape. I'm not a strong guy whatsoever. I have no issues drawing this XF, and I really, really can't believe they could make a bow with this cam shape draw so similarly to last year's bow. I mean, it's pretty amazing. So my take on it is I love this bow. I love the extra brace height. I love the upgrade to the roller guard. You know, that's something you always had to be afraid of, was that it would get loose and turn. They've taken that away by, you know, locking this into the actual riser. So I really, really like the XF. Obviously, I'm going to keep shooting it. I'll give you my opinions as I go along. But I just really wanted somebody to get, I haven't seen anything out there that was just a comparison from last year's bow to this year's bow. You know, I hear things like, oh, the cam, it's too harsh, it's too hard to draw. I mean, it literally draws the same. It draws so similar. just a tiny bit more force. And then at that very back, there's just a little bit of, I don't know what word to use. I don't know what word to use for that little portion at the back. But if you draw one yourself, you'll feel just a little bit of, I don't even know what word to use, guys. I literally can't think of the word, but it's just, okay, so here it is. It's the next day from when I filmed this video, and I'm working on editing this video for you guys, and I was trying to figure out the word I could use to describe what I thought I was feeling at the back of the draw cycle. So I just picked up the XF, drew it, and it was smooth. Of course, it has all my stabilizers. It has the sight on it. It's basically completely set up the way I'm going to shoot it. And last night when I was shooting it, I pretty much, took all those off to keep things even between the EVL and the XF. For whatever reason, I just drew it back about 6 times and drew the EVL back 6 times just to kind of rethink about what I was trying to say. And with stabilizers, I feel nothing in the back of the draw cycle. So the only difference that I can feel, drawing one and then drawing the other back to back is just that, maybe just a slight bit more force that it takes on the XF. So all of that statement about there being a little something at the back of the draw, I literally don't feel it. And I'm guessing the stabilizers are kind of countering that. I don't know. That's my best guess, but I just drew it several times. Don't feel it. Obviously, I'm here to give you my true, honest opinions. So I have no reason to tell you anything but what I really feel. So pretty much delete the portion where I say that there's some kind of like catch or grittiness or slowness, or like, last night when I was shooting, I felt like there was, as I would come off, going into the valley, there was just a little bit that wasn't totally smooth, and it was just a small portion. But I really think it had to do with me not having front stabilization on the bow. That really holds that bow there, and it's smooth as butter. I really think you guys are going to dig this new cam system. That's my honest opinion. So anyway, just wanted to get you guys an update, and if you made it this far in the video, you're my hero. So just one more thing I want to add on the topic of the new PSE EVO XF. If for some reason you find you're not a fan of this E2 cam, which I think it'd be hard to do, I really don't think it's that much different. It's just my opinion. Go shoot it for yourself, see what you think. I don't think it's that much different in draw cycle, in draw force curve. Like I said, slight bit more. It takes just a little bit more force to get it going, but it's really a smooth cam. It feels great on the back wall. Cool thing is, if you just love the way your Evolve cams have felt prior, you can get the EC cam on this XF. So there's no reason not to upgrade to the XF. Such a sweet bow, a lot of great features, extra brace height. One more thing I want to say about the XF. Typically I always have to shim my cams to the left, and I've done a video on how to shim the cams, so you can check that out if you guys have questions. Or if you need to do that yourself. But this bow, brand new out of the box, had to do 0 shimming, and it's set up like a dream. So really liking it so far, and can't wait to share more, but just wanted to get you guys a little bit of a speed comparison. Thank you guys so much for watching, and hope you have a great rest of your day.